The first thread is titled, Boyfriend Says Legs Look Gross. It's a nice day outside, so I was thinking about wearing a pair of shorts. I put on a pair that were kind of on the shorter side and was a little unsure about them. I asked my boyfriend if my legs looked gross from behind, and he said, if I'm being honest, yeah, you just got some weight on your legs. My feelings were obviously hurt, and he came to comfort me. I asked him if it's because you can see my cellulite, and he said no, but I feel like that was a lie. I put on long black biker shorts and asked the same question, and he said no, I like those better, and said I just look better in black. Now, I can't get a straight answer out of him about him thinking cellulite is gross. Attached is the first pair I had on. There's a picture attached to this post that I won't be showing, so I'll keep reading now. Pic doesn't show as much cellulite as you can see in person, I don't think. I'm 30 weeks, 5 days today, so she's pregnant, and have gained 25 pounds so far. He has not done a good job of making me feel pretty in my pregnancy, and this just really hurt. I know cellulite is natural and normal, but I just don't feel good about him not thinking I look good. I don't know what to say to him about this. My knee-jerk, very first response to this is something along the lines of, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I think this is one of those really unfortunate situations where OP put herself in that situation herself. In terms of how she phrased it, especially I asked my boyfriend if my legs looked gross from behind. What that says to me as an external person to the situation is that you felt your legs didn't look great from behind. And then when he validated that impression, because it sounds like you are asking for an honest opinion, then you took it kind of personally and it hurt. And I completely understand, the rest of it. Of course, pregnancy is associated with a bunch of weight gain. You can't really avoid it when you're pregnant. Nor should you even want to, because it's absolutely necessary for the baby. But that comes, a certain amount of insecurity and a certain amount of self-consciousness comes with that is also, again, completely normal and completely legit. And I totally understand where she's coming from. But the question here is you kind of put your boyfriend in the position where he can't really win, and it's not very clear what exactly you expect or what you really want from him, other than an honest answer to the question. I don't think that he would have said, hey, by the way, or at least it comes across very differently if he were to just walk past you trying on a pair of shorts and said, hey, your legs look kind of gross in that, you should change. Like, that's a completely different type of comment and statement, and would be handled, or I'm sure you would respond to it very differently as well, versus this type of situation where you kind of ask directly for the feedback. And I think it's also okay to say, hey, you know what, those shorts just don't look very flattering on you. I think that's completely fair as an opinion. I don't think that's bad. What is clearly a problem here, what the OP is experiencing, and then it kind of ends up projected on this type of situation, is that she's just a little bit insecure. She says he's not done a good job of making me feel pretty in my pregnancy, and this just really hurt. And so I don't think that this is a situation that happens in isolation. I think it's probably connected to a bunch of previous situations that happened in the past. And it's this insecurity of just not feeling good in her body and not feeling confident, not feeling attractive to her partner that's coming out from this thread. And so OP, in future, what I would do if I were you would be, I wouldn't ask this question in this kind of way. Also, the fact that he says that you look better in black. Black is a naturally more slimming kind of color. And so I think that that's probably some aspect of that. If you're insecure about your weight gain, then don't ask direct questions about your weight gain when you can't do anything about it. Maybe wait until after your pregnancy and then start working on your weight and then see how you feel afterwards. That's what I would do, number one. Number two, if I simply just did not feel attractive, if I felt like my boyfriend or my partner or my husband didn't think that I was pretty for whatever reason, then this is kind of where the basis of that conversation should that's where it should happen. It should not happen on this, oh, hey, do you think cellulite looks ugly? Do you think my cellulite looks ugly? I think there you're having a very shallow conversation about a much deeper, much more vulnerable kind of issue. Let's skip ahead to some of the comments here, and you'll see that quite a bunch of people actually reply completely on OP's side for this. So the first comment says, wear the shorts and tell your boyfriend, unless he has a legitimate reason to comment, like your tag is out, your shirt is tucked in your underwear, you missed a button, he should keep quiet. Dealing with weight gain has been one of the hardest parts of this pregnancy journey for me, and I can't imagine having to go through it with a partner who makes it even harder. I don't see any reason why you shouldn't rock those shorts. And again, this would be a totally fair comment if you were just trying on a pair of shorts in your bedroom and your boyfriend walks past you and says, hey, well, those shorts are ugly. I think it's that then you can say, hey, unless your boyfriend has a legitimate reason to comment, then he should keep quiet. In this circumstance, you actually directly ask for the feedback. So I don't think that this is a very fair comment in terms of how your boyfriend approached this. Another response says, if you look quote unquote gross, then so do I. He should know better than to say something that's going to make you feel even more self-conscious about your body while you're literally growing another human. You should wear whatever you want and whatever makes you feel comfortable. It's getting too hot for me to give a hoot about other people finding my body appealing enough to be on display. I'm sorry he's making you feel bad about yourself. Of course, I don't want OP to feel bad about herself either. And the main part of this comment here that I really disagree with is he should know better than to say something that's going to make you feel even more self-conscious about your body. I don't think that men relate to their bodies and relate to feeling self-conscious in the same way that women do. I think that perspective is just a very, very feminine perspective. And a lot of women read this and can immediately relate to it. But I'm pretty sure that if I were to ask the exact same question to my husband, then he would also, and it didn't look flattering or whatever, then he would also be like, yeah, it's a terrible pair of shorts. Just get another one. So this was where you see like a complete difference in communication styles. And that's kind of one of the reasons that this conflict is happening. And the next comment says, what the hell, I would have decked him. A very over-the-top kind of response. I'm going to skip ahead to one comment, which I think is a little bit more on my side here, and read that out. I swear I'm not trying to be harsh, but for future reference, and I say this with kindness, don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. If you were looking for reassurance or were looking for him to make you feel pretty, honestly communicating that and saying to him, babe, I'm having a bad self-confidence day. I just can't get my head together. I just want to feel pretty. Potentially could have been a more pleasant and reassuring conversation. But you asking, do I look gross in these shorts? And then getting upset when he says he doesn't think they look great doesn't make much sense to me. If you wanted him to lie to you no matter what the truth was, that means you were basically playing a mind game or trapping him. Just communicate. Tell him what makes you feel beautiful. Ask him why he doesn't compliment you. Admit you've been feeling insecure. Have a vulnerable conversation rather than asking a question and then melting down when he answers it. And that, I think, is a perfect summary of this question. It's kind of one of the reasons where sometimes asking for advice on the internet will actually give you pretty good advice. It is perfectly okay and legit to want to feel pretty and to want your boyfriend to validate that and to make you feel like you are attractive. There are certain ways to go about it, and this one was just a really unfortunate one for both parties.